Greetings, acolytes of the Force, and welcome back to the channel. In our archives, we strive to not only look at the great acts of these historical figures, but also take a look at their motives. What drives them? Why did they do the things that they were known for? These questions are often the ones asked by our researchers so that we can gain a better understanding of the time and culture of these many characters. One such character that on the surface seems rather straightforward would be Darth Malgus, and yet he has so much more complexity to him than even the Sith gave him credit for. Malgus was a man of action and of ruthless efficiency. Under his command, the campaign of the Sith Empire led them directly into the heart of the Republic, and his most glorious conquest was completed with the sacking of Coruscant and the taking of the Jedi Temple. Despite this being a resounding victory for the Sith, something that had not been accomplished and wouldn't be accomplished until the time of Darth Sidious, Malgus left shortly thereafter with a passion to start his own new empire, thus revealing that he actually hated and reviled the Sith. But why? What could have led him to departing the empire that he was once so loyal to just following the hour of his greatest triumph? Well, stick with us today as we look at the context and fine print to discover the true reason why Malgus left. Before we do though, our archives are ever growing and we want to spread as much information as we can about the secrets of the galaxy. So if you enjoy this video, check out some of our others and consider subscribing so you can stay up to date on all of our holotapes. Now, on with the topic today. Malgus was once a very loyal follower of the Sith Empire, as he believed that he was born as a rightful warrior and a conqueror. His allegiance to the Sith was to him a means to reach that end which he believed was his purpose: conquest. He was a driven man with a ruthless sense of perfectionism. To him, a job was not done until all bases were covered. Famously, Malgus regarded failure the same way that Lord Vader did, with absolutely no tolerance whatsoever. After killing Chaos and Darach above Korriban, Malgus learned of Satele Shan's escape and was disgusted with his master's failure to keep them from leaving. Because of this, he slew Darth Vindican where he was, now seeing him as useless and weak. Some perceived Malgus as an absolute brute due to his insane bloodlust. He would enter uncontrollable rages where he desired the instant gratification of taking life. If no enemies were around to kill, then he was known to murder his own allies just to satiate this need. Darth Vader had a similar problem, but Sidious was there to control him and keep him from killing so many Imperial officers needlessly. But just imagine for a moment someone like Vader freely walking around without someone like Sidious to control him. That was Darth Malgus. He used the dark side as more of a tool to suit his own needs and to feed his cravings for power and blood. However, Malgus was not a man without principles. Interestingly enough, this Sith Lord had a personal code that usually consisted of giving due respect to his enemies who earned it, and always keeping a promise. One such occasion was when his lover, Elena Daru, was being threatened by a Jedi named Aaron Lanier, who wanted revenge for Malgus killing her master. She learned about the relationship between Malgus and Elena and wanted to exploit it. The Jedi decided to kill Malgus's lover to give him a taste of the same pain that she had felt. However, at the last moment, Aaron came to herself and did not give in to her rage. Instead, she let Elena live after encountering her. At the same time though, Malgus arrived and defeated Aaron in combat. However, he spared her life in exchange of sparing the life of his lover and gave her the option to leave Coruscant. As Aaron left, Malgus kept his promise and allowed her to leave. However, this caused him to reevaluate his relationship with Elena, and he promptly killed her, believing that she had become a weakness to him. It was around this time that he had also grown disillusioned with the Sith Empire as well. His disillusionment came directly after the sacking of Coruscant, as Malgus had pulled off an expert maneuver and managed to completely destroy the Jedi Temple. He had assumed that the Sith were going to send a powerful message by wiping the planet off of the face of the galaxy, but he would be severely wrong. Rather, he learned that all of his efforts were just to secure Coruscant as a bargaining chip in the peace negotiations. The negotiations happening currently on Alderaan between the Sith Empire and the Republic. With Coruscant as a hostage, the Sith managed to force the Republic into an unsteady peace treaty with the Sith Emperor Vitiate, as Vitiate had encountered some unexpected occurrences that postponed his plans. Malgus was inflamed by these events, as the Sith Empire was just basically going to sit on the planet of Coruscant Coruscant and do nothing. As we mentioned earlier, Malgus was a man of action, and one who sought to conquer and destroy for his sole purpose. He hated the idea of Sith acolytes just sitting pretty without anything to do or conquer. He didn't believe in the idea of keeping warriors on reserve, believing that they earned the right to combat for attaining their rank. Also, with no way to continue the war, he would not be able to further his plans in gaining more power to overthrow the Sith Emperor himself. Vitiate's Dark Council was full of bickering and power-hungry Sith Lords, all pining for the same thing, but still subservient to Vitiate. Malgus already hated them all. Their politics bored him, and he took a similar stance to that of Darth Mar, which was that their bickering and backstabbing was regressive to the Empire as a whole, and made the Sith vulnerable. Simply put, just like how Malgus had outgrown his master years before, so too had he outgrown the entirety of the Sith Order. They were now holding him back from his purpose. He believed this purpose that he had been born to. Originally, the Sith were his instruments towards greatness, and now they were his hindrance. So after the events of Coruscant, where he saved Alina from the Jedi Errand, and then promptly killed his lover, he renounced his affiliation with the Sith Empire, and went out into the galaxy, seeking to make his own. This was the reason that Malgus went from the Sith Empire's best warrior to their greatest bane. I find it rather fascinating that some Sith Lords have such a high ambition that not even their own order can contain them. Malgus already felt slighted by the way that the other Sith Lords treated him. The members of the Dark Council learned of his relationship with Alina and acted as if they were weak because of it, and they constantly made him feel inferior in the realms of politics, which was one battlefront that Malgus wasn't as skilled or familiar with. But just like with any Sith of the Old Republic, he decided to solve all of his problems with his trusty Crimson Blade. No pretense, no playing around, only military action and total victory. In a way, one has to respect Malgus's ideals. He may have been something of a rabid dog at times, but at least he kept to some kind of honor code. Malgus was definitely more of a soldier than a Sith, one who believed the only kind of power is that which came with an iron fist. He had no qualms with keeping a lover so long as she provided usefulness to him, but the instant she became a burden on him, his Sith nature showed, and he cut her off like a foot with gangrene. But anyway, my friends, what do you think about Malgus? I feel as though Malgus is one of these that get overshadowed a bit in the hierarchy of the Sith. He had big plans and made exact steps and actions to take those plans. He was nearly successful too. Have you ever considered Darth Malgus to be among your favorite Sith? And if so, or if not, tell us why in the comments down below. And as always, my friends, may the Force be with you and have a great day.